Today, the woman accused of carrying out Colorado's biggest casino heist on record is due back in court. Sabrina Eddy is accused of stealing $500,000 from the Monarch Casino vault back in March. She originally told investigators she took the money because she thought her boss told her to bring it to someone else. Investigators now say Eddy took the money after threats from people who knew her late husband. Another man is in jail tied to the heist. Eddy's hearing is scheduled for 2 o'clock this afternoon.
One of the men charged in the shooting after the Nuggets won the NBA championship is also due in court today. 10 people were shot near 20th and Market Street in downtown Denver. Police say it started with a drug deal, then turned violent. Ricardo Vasquez is facing a weapons charge. He was also one of the people hurt in that shooting. According to court documents, police believe Vasquez threw a gun away as officers chased him from the scene. He was not allowed to have guns because of past convictions. Vasquez's hearing is scheduled for 8:30 this morning. Another man, Raul Jones, was also arrested in connection to this shooting. He is facing weapons charges as well. Police say more charges are possible for both of them.
This morning, an 18-year-old from Castle Rock is accused of trying to join ISIS. Investigators arrested Davin Meyer on Friday as he tried to board an international flight at DIA. Prosecutors say he swore an oath of allegiance to ISIS and planned to fight for them. These are screenshots from videos he made in support of the terrorist organization. Meyer also unknowingly spoke to an FBI source online. He's expected in court later this week.
The people who help are getting hurt. Nurses at the Rocky Mountain VA hospital say they are dealing with a lot of violence. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon is live outside the hospital in Aurora this morning. And Courtney, the nurses are demanding that hospital leadership do a lot more to protect them now.
Yeah, and Jordan, they're saying that they're dealing with a lot. Nurses say that they're yelled at, kicked, or even hit while they're on the job. They held a rally here yesterday demanding that VA hospital leadership do more to keep them safe. Nurses describe having blood spit in their faces, being bit or punched. The Colorado Hospital Association reports a continued increase in violence against hospital staff. In 2021, they reported a record high at around 17 assaults for every 100 hospital beds. During yesterday's rally organized by the National Nurses United Union, nurses demanded the VA take stronger action to protect its workers. Deputy Director of the VA Eastern Colorado Healthcare System says all hospital units have training plans related to workplace violence, and they're all taught how to deal with difficult patients.
So in healthcare, this happens all the time. This is occurring more than any unusually as of recent. So again, as we hear about it, we'll take appropriate action.
I've had my life threatened. I've had my children's life threatened. I've been followed home from work before. I've had blood spit in my face. I've been bit. I've been kicked. I've been punched. I mean, it just goes on.
And the nurses union says that they want the hospital to increase staff and support the nurses who speak out against violence when they're working. Jordan?
And certainly what the nurses are describing is concerning, Courtney. So we'll continue to follow this story as it develops. Thank you.
New this morning, the Colorado Department of Health has a new way to let families know when their kids might be due for certain routine vaccinations. Starting today, CDPHE will send out notification by text and email to families of more than 500,000 kids. The information comes from the Colorado Immunization Information System. The goal is to keep kids up to date on their routine vaccines. CDPHE says you should always check with your child's doctor before scheduling their vaccines.
A new treatment could be coming soon to help protect newborns from RSV. The FDA just approved that treatment. RSV is the leading cause of hospitalization in infants in the U.S. every year. This new treatment is not a vaccine. It's a ready-made antibody that can bind to the virus and block it from infecting healthy cells. It would be given via injection before RSV season, which usually peaks in the fall and winter. Now, a CDC advisory committee will have to vote on the treatment. If they sign off, it will become the second antibody available to protect young children against RSV.
This morning, more than 11 million patients of HCA Healthcare may have their personal information exposed because of a data breach. HCA owns Skyridge, Rose, and Swedish medical centers. A spokeswoman couldn't tell us how many of these patients are from Colorado. A post on the dark web alerted HCA Healthcare to the problem. The company says no sensitive financial or medical information was leaked, but it did confirm a breach of names, addresses, and appointment information. Cybersecurity experts say criminals can still do serious damage even without sensitive information.
If I was a bad person and wanted to go out and exploit that, what I would do is send emails.
And watch out also for suspicious solicitations, like you got something from a medical practice that you didn't expect, or you have an inquiry or a past due bill.
Some advice to patients: watch your inbox. Never click links in emails that you're unsure about. Don't answer calls from suspicious phone numbers, and freeze your credit report. We also have resources for you on our website at 9news.com.
Abortion in Iowa is once again legal, at least for now. A judge blocked Iowa's new law that banned most abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy or after cardiac activity can be detected. That means for now, it's legal to get an abortion up to 20 weeks of pregnancy in Iowa. The ruling specifies that the Board of Medicine should still start creating rules to enforce the 6-week ban, so there is guidance for healthcare providers if the law is in effect in the future. Today, a judge will hear arguments about the date of the trial for former President Donald Trump's classified documents case. Prosecutors want the trial to start in December, but Trump's defense team says it's not possible for the former president and current GOP frontrunner to get a fair trial until after the 2024 election. Trump was indicted last month on dozens of criminal charges, including accusations that he knowingly kept national defense information, conspired to obstruct justice, and made false statements. Trump has pleaded not guilty.
Russia is pressing pause on a deal that allowed Ukraine to export grain during the war, and it's already having big impacts around the world. Ukraine usually accounts for 10% of the world's wheat exports. The deal helped keep global grain prices stable during the war. A spokesperson for the Kremlin says it's hampered Russia's ability to export food, but according to estimates from the U.S., Russia shipped record amounts of grain last year. Either way, Russia is suspending the deal until its own food demands are met. The U.S. Secretary of State says wheat prices are already expected to go up.
The bottom line is it's unconscionable. Should not happen. This should be restored as quickly as possible. They will see that Russia is responsible for denying food to people who are desperately need it around the world, and to contribute to rising prices at a time when many countries continue to experience very difficult inflation.
A spokesperson for the United Nations says he's particularly worried about how this will impact developing countries, but ultimately he says it's up to each country to decide whether to participate in agreements like these, so there's not much the UN can do.
An update this morning: the city of Denver says it has now spent more than $21 million to support arriving migrants. New numbers overnight show the city has helped more than 13,000 people, with about 50 arriving just yesterday. About 500 people are still being sheltered in non-city run facilities. We're expecting to hear from Denver's new mayor today. Mike Johnston takes office with a slew of difficult issues in front of him: homelessness, public safety, and education, just to name a few. Now we'll have to transition from talking about what he would do next to actually doing it. Our Kevin Vaughn went out and asked a few people which issues they think should be priority.
We need housing. We don't need tiny homes. We don't need SOS camps. We need housing. Those are temporary solutions.
I'd love to see some real concerted effort put towards homelessness.
Well, definitely living downtown, I feel like the unhoused issue.
We travel a little bit, from what I could tell, because it's similar to New York to us. Is like it seems like there's a lot of homelessness on the streets. So I think that would be one thing that he should consider to go ahead and go.
Johnston pledged to build 1,400 new housing units in his first 4 years in office, enough to end homelessness by the end of his first term.
And one thing you want to know about the weather today, it's going to be another warmer. Look at these temperatures along the Front Range, mostly in the 90s with maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Tomorrow, not as warm, only in the 80s, but we'll keep the showers and thunderstorms around.